Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fabulous with Fabio, the talk show that reviews fabulous people and how you can become fabulous as well. Reminder, this talk show has no post-production, no editing, no cutting, no getting things better. What you see is what actually happened during the interview. And I only invite to my show guests that I know can handle this kind of situation. So there's no rehearsal, there's no fixing things. This is real and authentic as life is. And my guest today is a fabulous human being doing a fabulous job. So please identify yourself so everybody knows who you are.
Hey everybody, I'm Coach Matt O'Brien. I'm a functional health coach and master trainer. I've been doing this for over 28 years now. Super passionate about serving others and helping them leave a longer legacy.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I have the privilege of working with Matt in our board group because he's a CEO of a company, and I advise that board, and he is amazing. He's always willing to help people with tips, with encouragement, so people can live a healthier and longer life. So that's why I invited Matt to be here with me today, so you can learn from him precious tips about how to live your life, and of course how to be more aware of what you can do with your body so you can enhance your productivity at work and also become a better parent, a better spouse, a better human being. So Matt, tell me, I want to explore first and foremost your core principles. I know you have several, but let's select three principles you live your life by.
Doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do is definitely a core principle. And then another one that I learned as a child that stuck with me is it's good to be important, but more important to be good. And then a third principle is focus on the ones and let God take care of the zeros.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So do the right thing. It's important to be good. Even more important than to be important is important to be good, and take care of the ones, and let God take care of the zeros. Amazing. So you see already, my audience, my dear audience, my dear spectators, you see if you're listening in podcast or if you're watching in YouTube, you start taking notes, okay? Because I can sense this is going to be a very rich interview where you can get a lot from. So, Matt, tell me now, those are the principles, and I love them. When you have to make decisions, of course, you take those principles into consideration. What else do you take into consideration besides those principles? Some people can relate to principles as personal values, or you can have principles and values that will help you through the decisions you have to make. So, besides those principles, are there any other values that you use when making decisions in your business and in your life?
You know, especially in the business, which can be problematic at times, and something I'm working through this very moment. But I always have a kind of a value of people over profits, and that ties into one of that core principle I said about doing the right thing and letting God take care of the zeros. But at the end of the day, for a business to exist and serve customers, it has to be profitable if it's a for-profit business. So I'm working with Fabio and mentorship and other mentorship programs to figure that piece out because I do want the legacy of this business to impact more people. And to do that, I know we have to be profitable, serve our customers as well as our employees, and help nurture and develop them along the way. So it's a lot. And I didn't go to business school and I was a biology major, pre-med. So learning these business principles through people like Fabio and working with others that are teaching me and then applying them in my business. So that's something I'm learning, but I still want to be true to take care and serve the customer as well as my staff and employees along the way.
Great. So you see people that not only you need principles to be successful, but you need extra values that connect your business to who you are, right? So, or to your principles. So taking care of people first and profits will follow. This is a very strong value in business. If you want to really build something that is meaningful to you, to your employees, and to your clients. Because if you put profits first and people second, you're going to end up with no profits at all. Nowadays, more than ever, people value authenticity, truth, and your true and sincere appreciation for others, for your clients and your people. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us, Matt. How you connect your business strategies with your personal principles, so you put people first, and of course, you make them feel loved and appreciated, and as a result, profits will always follow. One thing I want you to share with us, Matt, is your situation now with your business. I want you to share with us what is it that you do now in terms of the services you offer and the promises you can make. What kind of results your clients can expect from working with you, right? After we go through that, I'm going to go back so you can share with us where you came from, okay? Your
Yep.
background. But let's first focus. What is the situation now? Tell us about your business, the offers you have, and the promises you can make to your clients.
Okay. Great lead in. As a business, in the health space, we've evolved and progressively niched over the last 10 years to our primary audience we serve is people over 40, busy working professionals and parents that are time starved and starting to be more conscious of their health. Maybe they got labs from their doctor, or maybe their doctor said, was honest with them and said, you need to do something. And fortunately, there is a growing awareness of the importance of exercise and proper nutrition. But I'm a realist, and I know all the modern time constraints that we in business professionals and parents, of which I'm both, that's the challenge. So the solution that we continue to sharpen our sword with is providing time efficient and effective results that deliver and improve health. And we have metrics that we track and measure and deliver to our clients so they can visually see and understand they're making improvement, just like we track revenues and our closing percentage in business. I wanted those same kind of metrics for our clients to show them that their health is improving, because the scale can be a frustrating partner in crime if that's all that you're going by. So we have a $12,000 body composition scale as one of the metrics that we can demonstrate changes in body composition, fat mass versus muscle mass versus visceral fat, metabolism, metabolic health. And then we partner with several functional health companies to do comprehensive labs so we can demonstrate improvements in those, pretty proven risk factors, show them or identify in the first place any significant risk factors, and then help them create that comprehensive solution. So I would say, I would venture to predict we're one of the most comprehensive solutions in the country, just because I'm an insatiable learner and passionate about getting better. And by comprehensive, we do the movement lever, which is exercise and some kind of cardiovascular movement, low intensity. We offer a nutrition made simple program. We Another lever is sleep that affects a lot of people. Poor sleep, quantity or quality or both, is the foundation to health. Fixing that, stress management, mindset that Fabio deals with a lot, um, which is something I'm trying to be a sponge and learn from him. These are all the big levers, and so if you try to throw like a shotgun approach and attack all of them, that I've learned doesn't work. So we take kind of the one or two biggest levers in an individual's situation, and we kind of focus on those first, and then we snowball effect to the other levers. So
Mhm.
by the end of a 90-day program that I call Road to Health, all of those levers are being dealt with in some capacity, but
Mhm.
addressing the biggest ones first uh, creates the results, and getting those results gets people into momentum and keeps them excited, keeps them engaged. Because if you don't deliver results, or at least prove that you're in results, people get 2 weeks, they say I haven't seen any results, and that's what happens when people try to do it on their own. And I'm a big advocate of getting coaches. I've spent over $150,000 of my own money paying coaches to coach me in business, and I'm right now completing one to get my national board certification as a functional health coach. That was a 28-month program. So you never stop learning, which I think we're going to dive into later.
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody watching, please pay attention to this, okay? I know you have, all of you here probably have faced this where you get excited about something and then you just give up when you don't see results, right? I believe results are the strongest motivator of all, right? So if you see results, you remain motivated. And many of you listening or watching this probably started some fitness program in your life, some health program in your life, and you gave up a few weeks or months later because you're not seeing results. Or maybe you started a business and you gave up a few years later, or you just changed course every single time you're facing difficulties because, well, it's not meant to be. We are talking to a person right here, Matt O'Brien. He is so committed to his purpose of helping people live healthier and longer lives. This man has done everything within his power to learn everything he can to offer the best service ever possible out there. I have witnessed his commitment to continuously learning and learning and learning and enhancing his comprehension of everything related to health and fitness. So, what I believe, Matt, without even asking you, what I believe is your unique value proposition, and I talk about value a lot. Your
Mm-hmm.
unique value proposition is how committed you are to finding the best way possible to help people stay motivated and stay on track to a healthier and longer life. Not only by all the metrics you have to help people evaluate the progress, but everything that you have implemented in your systems, in your methods of acquiring clients, the right clients, helping them understand what is the process of getting better, and really all your dedication to help them step by step to become the best version they can be in terms of health and fitness. It's really what sets you apart. I haven't seen anyone as committed as you are in your purpose of helping people get healthier. Many people get into your space, fitness and health, just to make more money, and they say, "Oh, if my customer is not following the program, it's their fault." Not you. You're always trying to find better ways to communicate the program, to explain the program, to convince your clients about the program, to help them see the results they can get by working with you. And I commend you for that. It's really a pleasure getting to know someone as committed as you are to your purpose in life.
Thank you for that, and recognizing that those are all things. Yeah, constant pursuit of, like you said, is finding ways. We just launched 2 weeks ago a new, I call it the 90-day roadmap, and it's literally a checkbox system that has 30-day checkpoints to guide people into success, and they get little rewards along the way. But more importantly, we're showing them every 30 days the progress that they're making, and reinforcing to them step by step that they are making progress. Because
Yeah.
taking the first step is, quite frankly, the hardest for a lot of people. There's a lot of fear, apprehension,
Mhm.
um, so much knowledge on the internet, and so many experts and gurus and influencers. People get trapped into analysis paralysis and never do anything, which is not a good thing.
Yeah.
So no decision is the worst decision.
Yeah.
But I think figuring out ways to communicate and message to those people that are confused or have fears, to at least have a conversation. That's my first step in my process. Um, to really explore their current situation, unearth some of those fears and apprehensions, and then demonstrate through stories of our clients like Matthew and Leanne that I worked with today that just said, this is just so different, unlike any gym I've ever been to. And we don't like to think of ourselves as a gym. We like to think of ourselves as a second chance to help people that, you know, have a reason to live or
Mm.
have a legacy they want to live, whether that's business or their children or their grandchildren, even. I just, that's probably the biggest reward or metric that or value to me that this business provides is just knowing, I can honestly say I've helped people probably extend their lives 7 to 10 years. I don't claim the credit, but I know we're part of that solution.
Yeah.
And that's how I sleep really good at night and feel so blessed to have that opportunity. And I thank God every morning, or most mornings at least, that he put that passion on my heart a long time ago. And that dream and that passion still burn bright, even through COVID and all the challenges that came from that.
Mm.
Um, I just get so many blessings just from our client results and our client stories. And I want to share with you at some point today Matthew's story, which is just incredible, that might inspire other people that think it's too late for them, or they're too unhealthy. If I have time, I'll jump into it real quick.
Well, listen, yeah, I believe we can share that story because I really believe many people watching this, and as I told everybody in my introduction, this is real and life, real and authentic as life is. So there's no really a pre-structure we have to follow, right? One thing that I see many people watching this, probably they believe, if they're not really into a system, into a consistent process of taking care of themselves, probably because they believe they don't have enough time, they don't have enough money, it's too complicated. They would have to commit too much time of their days or their weeks. And one thing that I really like about you and how you approach things is that first, you live by example, right? You are very healthy. You take good care of yourself. Um, you behave in a way that is exemplary. So you really inspire by your own example how you live. But another thing you do is you help people see alternatives, right? You help people be resourceful and find small chunks of their time to really introduce healthier habits into their day-to-day lives. And by the metrics you also give them, you help them stay on track. And little by little, they create the habit of taking care of themselves, right? And not only the parents, because we know executives can be successful, entrepreneurs can be successful financially, but they can really harm their own families by not being healthy enough
Mhm.
to enjoy quality time with their families. Not only you're extending their lives in 7 or 10 years, but you are giving them better quality time with their families because if they're healthier, they can really enjoy more fun time with their families now, not 10 years from now, right? So
Mhm.
I really enjoy the way you appreciate the way you always trying to help people see the possibilities, not the difficulties, but the possibilities. And little by little, we will help people get on track and have a better life, not only for themselves, but for their people they love, right? So just before we go into the Matthew story, I would like to share with my audience your story, right? How you became the person you are today. What happened to you? When was the click that made you focus on this area of your life and decided that this will be your mission in life, your purpose in life?
Yeah, I think it dates back to being an overweight kid myself and having a name, Matt, that rhymes with fat. You can imagine the nicknames I had in seventh and eighth grade. And fortunately for me, I had a mom that was, you know, very convincing because I didn't have another choice that we had to do something. And I'm sure it was for her sanity as much as ours. So she had us in sports and, she gave us the choice as I got into eighth and ninth grade. She said, you got to pick your sport, but you have to do a sport. And so football became mine. And then once I got into high school with formal coaching and just watching what that did to my own physique and my own body,
And
from
self-esteem,
ninth to
right?
10th
And
grade.
self-esteem as well.
Yeah, just, I went from somebody that was being made fun of, and those same people in my junior year, I moved from Florida to New York during this time. And I remember a summer in 11th grade going back to Florida, and the captain of the cheerleading squad and the people that kind of used to, I wouldn't say she would make fun of me, but definitely felt like, I was not in that circle. And then just having her run up to me and ask me out on a date was, one of those things that was just like, you're not prepared for because you're still, in my mind, I'm 57 now, and I still see myself as that fat kid. It's really hard to shed that identity. So I have to use my logical brain and metrics and convince myself like, hey, you on paper you are healthy, even though I still see myself as that fat kid. So that's what really drives me to get better and to serve people. And but the entrepreneurial journey started going back to New York City. I was a hospital administrator in the Air Force, went to the Air Force Academy, and had great opportunities there to learn business, management, make a lot of mistakes. And when I got out, I moved to New York City. I was a manager at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. And having worked out and done a couple, bodybuilding type shows, people in the gym would always say, oh, how do you do this? And how do you do that? And ask me for advice. And so if you ever lived in New York City, it's crazy expensive. And even though I was on a nice salary at the Met and good benefits, in New York, that doesn't go very far. So I started moonlighting personal training and before and after work, getting up at 4 in the morning and going to bed after 11 at night. And I kind of saw that I was getting clients and serving clients better than some of the other trainers. And then I took that dumb, arguably dumb entrepreneurial leap of faith, quit my job, started TrYumph Fitness in New York City on 19th Street in 1998, and proved in a year of working my butt off from 5 a.m. to 11 at night. We don't have the technology then that we do now. I can manage my whole business on my phone now, from payroll to all the metrics, where back then everything was manual and Excel spreadsheets and manually processing credit cards. And but the business plan I wrote back then is the one we are running right now, and I still feel like we're not all the way there, but we're still running that same business plan and getting better. So that's how kind of it started. And just like we take care of ourselves and our body and our learning, the business keeps evolving, and we've niched down, like I said, to serve a specific audience. And then, the other cool thing I didn't mention, um, that is another passion project. Single moms is one of my passion projects because of my mom. And then, you know, whew,
Getting emotional. That's just a proof of your passion about this, man. And that's what's lacking in so many businesses out there, passion. They just do because it's a business. But we need more people like you that do it because there's a purpose behind it. So
we
it's okay.
it's yeah, it's something I'm really excited about. It's we launched a Kid Fit program, and helping those kids that aren't athletic, that aren't in sports, and we're really doing a good job with it. Our coaches are amazing. The parents love it. The kids love it. And I've had several very successful business titans even just confirm to me like that's your gold mine opportunity. So we're trying to figure out, looking at grants and other opportunities, how we can scale that program with the resources that we would need. where we can offer an aftercare program and really scale it to serve more kids. But so that's my other passion project, and that keeps growing. And that's the one that's really confirming as a business owner. It's like um, for as much effort and expense it takes to get an adult lead, we can get 10 kids. It's just there's such a big opportunity there. Not a lot of competition. I would welcome the competition because there's so many kids that we need to serve. But super excited about that as well. So two audiences, and really kind of treating them as two separate businesses under the TrYumph umbrella. But very passionate about both of them.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And that leads us to one thing that I would like you to ask to share with us is about your vision, right? So you have done this for so many years, and we still can see how passionate you are about this, how involved you are, how invested you are, and share with us your dream, your vision for the future. Yeah, you're working with entrepreneurs, 40 years old and older, but also you have this passion about helping kids as you were a kid, right? That maybe was
mhm,
not into sports that well, not really into fitness. And then you now want to help those kids be more involved in this so they feel better about themselves, they feel more confident. What is the impact you believe you could make when you help someone when they're a kid and when you help someone when they're an adult?
mhm.
What is the impact you see in their lives when they work with you? What is your dream about the difference you can make in their lives?
Well, with I think for both sides, it's really, and this isn't something they're gonna necessarily realize, but it's really planting a seed of hope that there is something for the kids, and oftentimes, the kids lead to their parents becoming clients as well. But it's really, you know, creating awareness with the whole family. But the seed, I know, and if you're a parent watching this or listening to this, we have a responsibility with our children from the time they're 6 until their time they're 20. You're imprinting their metabolic footprint for the rest of their lives, their bone density ceiling, their metabolism, how they are likely to struggle losing weight or struggle with their weight for the rest of their lives. That's really imprinted between those 6 to 20 years of age. And so the impact that we want to leave is presenting opportunities. And part of the evolution of that business is providing aftercare. We're providing a solution that's necessary for working parents where their children are getting exposed every day to some kind of movement based activity that they don't dread or they're not um, complaining about. And that's the genius of our coaches that I'm seeing as they've evolved in creating programming for that business. But I would say the overall impact is just quality of a life, so they don't have to necessarily deal with the frustrations and the fears and the anxieties that come as an adult when it's harder to lose weight or you don't have like I've always been overweight. You have this identity that you can't do anything. So I know with the kids that we're planting a seed that they can do it, and hopefully that carries on through the rest of their life, and the
Yeah.
opportunities that are going to be available in health and longevity for children in 20 years is going to be insane. So I just want to have that impact now, and that's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, if I can add to that, man, you know what as you mentioned, I work a lot helping my clients develop the right mindset to be successful, right? And I know that, I see for my daughter as well. My daughter today is really taking care of her body. She's always disciplined in studying. She's a champion in everything she attempts to do. And now she's starting to verbalize that, thank you, Dad, for the example you gave me, right? Because she always saw me exercising, she always saw me studying, working hard, and getting things done, and following my plans. And now she goes like, well, I am who I am because I saw the examples you gave me, right? So I believe that this mindset, as you were saying, kids really need us until they, no, no, let's say they become adults. They really need us to help them follow the right track, right? And have the right example to follow, and we are building their mindset for success. One of the most frustrating things I see people dealing with, and that really prevents them from being more successful, is they don't believe they can be successful when they think I cannot control my own life, I cannot control my own body, I cannot control my own health. How am I supposed to control my business or the market? So they feel anxious about it, and they have anxiety attacks when they feel like they're not good enough to even control their own health, right? So when you help somebody, since they're kids, and even when they're adults, you help somebody see that they, yes, they can control their bodies, they can enhance their bodies, they can control their health, their habits, they can get better, they build this confidence about everything they can do, and
Mhm.
they become much more effective in every attempt, in every endeavor they want to take on. So this has a very strong impact in everything, every aspect of their lives, not only business, but dating, respecting yourself, and of course challenging yourself to be greater in life, and not living mediocre lives, but living a life of excellence, because excellence, as you know, is surpassing your limits every time. It's not perfection, but it's always evolving and thriving and surpassing your own limits. And you help people see that that is possible. So that's the importance I see in what you're doing, and the big difference you can make for so many. So now it's the time, Matt, to share the story of Matthew, as you mentioned. Let us know what happened to this. I know
Yes.
you several hundreds of clients you have served, or maybe thousands so far, but let's focus on Matthew for a moment and understand what happened to him.
Yeah, knowing your audience, I feel like Matthew would be a good story to share because I'm hoping many people can connect the dots with and relate to him. We're going back to just this past December 19th. His wife was at a health exam, and his doctors were creating the illusion that nothing was wrong, like, basic blood work. But the doctor, fortunately, that was, you know, examining his wife was like, have you had a physical? But she kind of gave him marching orders to go get his blood labs and which ones to get. So he did that and found out his A1C, which is a health marker that's supposed to be, under 5.7. His was 9.9. And a lot of people like, oh, I feel fine, but he was over 350 pounds and business owner, and we can get trapped into all the requirements and competition for our time and attention. Husband and 6 children. So talk about time constraints. But first comes awareness. And to his credit, he followed the doctor's instructions, got the labs. It revealed in functional health labs. So if you're getting labs from your doctor and you feel like you're overweight, but the doctor's saying everything's fine, I'm going to tell you it's not. There's a lot of labs that are a lot more revealing than the basic ones most doctors order. So, to his credit, gained the awareness and then had his wake up call, his why. I always try to connect people to, why their health is important. I say our health is our wealth. Like, yeah, as a business owner, we're trying to make financial wealth, but if you don't have the life to enjoy that wealth or see your legacy, like Steve Jobs is a classic example. He said he would have given all his wealth back for just 100 more days on this earth. When he dealt with pancreatic cancer. So to inspire everybody, here's Matthew, 355 pounds, December 19th, A1C at 9.9. In working with him since then, time. Only 3 hours a week was what we carved out for the exercise piece. Nutrition, he was eating anyway. We just fine tuned his nutrition to one that was going to support metabolic health and one that was realistic for him, and kind of framed his why, connected the dots there, and why it was important for him to get healthy. And that was enough motivation for him to follow. I'm just a navigator. I don't like to claim he's the captain. I'm just a navigator giving guidance and directions. But fast forward 6 months later, and remember, I was demonstrating to him as a business owner, things were moving in the right direction. Results were happening. Weight was changing. Blood labs every 3 months was changing. So 6 months later, he lost 105 pounds of fat, gained muscle. So a lot of just diets and the weight loss shots, they will help you lose weight, but 30 to 35% of that is muscle, and that's your metabolic engine, and that's problematic. So we kept his muscle with those 3 hours a week of exercise, and his A1C, this is the home run that I want to finish with, went from that 9.9, which is insulin diabetic, to 4.6, which is better than mine, in just 6 months. So with only 3 hours a week. So if you are telling yourself that I don't have the time or I don't know what to do, I just want to use Matthew as an inspiration that what is possible with just 3 hours a week with everything on his plate and connecting to his why and having guidance and direction, working with a coach, who had some accountability and some love along the way. Anything's possible. And I hope that would encourage somebody that watches or listens to this to take that step to gain awareness and then get help, get a coach, and you too will have more time on earth. For Matthew, for his 6 children, I just know, what could have been, because I had a friend that was 37 that was a lot like Matthew, and didn't follow the course, and he had a heart attack and left 2 children behind, died in the hospital in the emergency room. And that gentleman's name was Jordan, and friend, and he's the legacy, or his legacy is another thing that motivates me to help people like Matthew not go down the same path. So a lot wrapped up in that story, but
Yeah.
hopefully it inspires somebody
Yes.
to make some decisions in
I
their
want to
life.
highlight a few points in your story. Um, as I mentioned before in one of our conversations, Matt, there are 5 elements that really make people truly successful, right? Self-awareness. So they created this identity of champions. So they believe in themselves and they know their limits and they know what they need to work on. So self-awareness and getting to know yourself is one of the elements to true success. And then vision, direction, right? Having a purpose in life, and then we have other three, which are communication, internal communication, and how you communicate with others, learning, continuous learning, and then persistent practice. And your story really touches in several of those elements. And I want to highlight to our audience that, internal communication, right? You may be talking to yourself, you may be telling yourself, I don't have enough time to exercise, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that, I have too many kids, I have too many responsibilities. So you're communicating to yourself excuses for not taking care of the most important thing you have, which is your health. So you have to change this communication inside your head, inside your head. So you prioritize. And as you said, only 3 hours a week were enough to make a miracle. So yes, it is possible to change your life and your health with a few hours a week if you just commit to do it and you understand this is possible. So change your internal communication to believe you can do things like that. And even when talking to other people, many people say things, oh, I work too much, I have 6 kids. And they communicate those things as a justification, as a glorified justification for not taking care of themselves. And this has to change. I see so many people taking and proud in giving excuses, right, instead of getting into action. So it's time to change that your communication to yourself and your communication to others to more productive and constructive communication that really can help you instead of just giving you reasons for not doing the right thing. And learning, you can learn from books, from YouTube, whatever. But when you are not able to transform yourself and your habits by learning from books, you need a coach, you need someone by your side, helping you hold yourself accountable. So learning is not only studying, learning is putting yourself out there and trying and getting the right help to do so. And finally, persistent practice is, once you commit to do something, go all the way, do it, right? Do the things you're supposed to do. Don't find excuses, find solutions. Don't find more problems, find solutions. So have the mindset of getting things done, and you will collect the rewards you deserve if you do all that. Does that make sense, Matt?
Yeah, it is connecting the dots. And um, I can say, we always talk about with parenting or in marriage, it takes a village. The same as our health. Like, very few people are going to be successful doing it on their own. And that's why like you said earlier, I try to practice what I preach, and I hire coaches for areas of my life and my business and even my marriage where I know I need help. I want to get better, and coach is just going to get you there faster. That's what I consider a navigator. I'm just going to give you the most efficient route to get you to where you want to go,
Mm.
and otherwise you can just get lost and spin around in circles. So coaching and getting mentorship are such valuable tools that most business owners understand. And in that niche that we work with, business owners are by far my favorite, um, because they understand the value of results and efficiency and effectiveness and metrics. And they usually get it and connect the dots. And because they're working so hard, they want to have that functional health to leave time for themselves and their legacy, but also more time for their legacy as business owners, as parents, as spouses, as well. So that's ties back to all the things that make this so passionate for me and why I get emotional when I talk about it, because it's just cool. I think God put me on the earth and planted that seed a long time ago, and it's still growing, and will continue to grow. I feel like I got a long way to go, but we're going to keep growing and keep getting better, and hopefully serving people along the way.
All right. Hey, everybody, listen. Of course, we're going to put in the description of the video all the ways you can contact Matt O'Brien. All right. You can get to know more about what he's done and his projects and everything. So if you're listening, go to our YouTube channel and see the description of the video where you can find all the links to get in contact with Matt. But before you go, Matt, if you have extra minutes, there's a book that you have written, The Magic Pill, right? Is right behind you. Can you tell us a little bit what we can find in this book? Why we should have a look at this book?
Yeah, it goes back to I was talking about those big levers: movement, nutrition, sleep, stress, and mindset. Um, I think, we. I was telling somebody earlier today, our genetics, the cards that our parents dealt, they're 15% responsible for the outcomes in our life. And epigenetics, the environment, the choices we make, the people we surround ourselves with, that's 85%. And Dr. Mark Hyman, who's kind of the godfather of functional medicine, kind of made that stat more famous. But I've always believed the one that we have the most control over, that yields the biggest results, like Matthew, 3 hours a week, is exercise. And so the book, the title, The Magic Pill, is a metaphor. Exercise is the magic pill. And each chapter just represents a case study or evidence of different areas of our health. Like chapter 4 is called Better Than Prozac, the mental health benefits of exercise. I know when I don't exercise, I know Fabio can vouch for this too, in his life. Like when I don't exercise, like I'm different. Like I react differently. I probably overreact. So exercise can manage our creativity, our energy, our dopamine, our oxytocin, serotonin, all the hormones that we sometimes try to medicate to improve, exercise does it all for us, to some degree. So
Yeah,
that's kind of the gist of the book, and the people that have read it. It does plant the seed of health being our wealth, and why exercise is such a critical piece and such a powerful lever. I would say exercise, nutrition, and sleep. Those three things, if you master them and devote some time and attention, you're going to have a pretty good, solid quality life because of the results that they bring.
perfect. And they can find that book in Amazon as well?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Uh,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, it's been my privilege and my honor to interview today Matt O'Brien from TrYumph Empire. And listen, for those of you watching and listening, please go check his work. Go to the links I'm going to put in the description of this video. Know more about what he's done, because I can attest to that. I'm a witness of his commitment to really help people succeed in the area of getting healthier and getting fit the right way, right? And he has developed all the systems, all the metrics, all the programs to help you uh, get rid of the excuses and get into action, exercising as your magic pill for a longer and healthier and wealthier life as well. This is Fabulous with Fabio, the talk show that reviews fabulous people like Matt O'Brien and how you can become fabulous as well. I'm going to give Matt a few extra seconds for his goodbye message. And of course, stay tuned for more interviews with fabulous people. Matt, your final message for us, please.
I just want to thank you, Fabio, for inviting me on the podcast, and thank you for your mentorship in our board that we are on. And to those that listen or watch this, I just would love to serve you. I do virtual coaching, and we'll provide the links in the description. But I just want to challenge you to really take some time to think about your health. Don't take it for granted. It's our most precious asset, more than money. And our biggest levers are getting help, but exercise, movement, and just making the process efficient. Like, don't use excuses. Just open yourself up to the possibilities. And if I can serve you, I would love to be part of that process, even just for a consultation. But love to and sharing with us if this did have an impact. Put that in the comments and let us know. We would love to be part of that journey. And Fabio, you would be the catalyst for making that happen on your show.
Yes.
So be
Thank
really
you
cool.
so much. Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much, my friend. Listen, everybody listening, go to the comments as he said. Listen, write your comment, leave your message, leave your question. Let's interact. Let's get rid of the excuses. Let's get into action. Let's make things happen so we can make a difference for ourselves and for the ones we love. This is Fabulous with Fabio, and I expect to see you again in our next episode. Talk to you soon, guys. Stay safe, stay strong. See you soon.